This is Kelly G. Welcome to the Craftique Studio. Today, we're going to try the BetterPress Letterpress system by Spellbinders. Let's take a look. So I just got this baby in the mail, and I thought it would be fun to come on camera and share the unboxing experience with you. This is the Spellbinders BetterPress Letterpress system, and you get to achieve very high quality results just from your own equipment, and it's very easy to use. So I'll walk you through what it looks like, and we're going to go through the experience together. I haven't opened it yet, so all of this will be first time reactions, etc. But I hope you'll see how easy it is to use. So if you look at the back of the box, it shows you all of the things that come in this system. And basically, this kit is pretty much self-contained. It's everything you need except for the die cutting machine. So if you have a Platinum 6 or a Platinum machine from Spellbinders, or if you have a Big Shot, those are the machines that they recommend that you use with the system. I think they've tested a couple of the electric systems like the Gemini and things like that, but I think they found that the impression didn't come out as nice and clear as they'd like, but you're definitely free to try those out as well. So let's open up the box and get started. All right, so inside we have all of our pieces and parts. We have some cards from some cardstock, and I think this is the high quality cotton card panels. And so the cotton card panels act as a moisture wick, and they absorb the ink a little bit better. Think about those stationery stores, the old school stationery stores, if you remember Papyrus or any of those, where you had to go, and even with wedding invitations, you got them printed on really nice high quality paper. Think about resumes, if you're old enough to remember those, where you actually had to buy good paper and put your resume on that paper. It was like a high quality cotton paper, so it achieves better results. All right, so let's open this up. Okay, so in this package we have our plate. I think there's a special name for these things, so let me just make sure I got this right. I think this is called the platen, and this is where all of the magic happens. And then we have the magnetic insert. Oh wait, no, this is the magnetic insert, and it comes with 3 shims that we need to put in right away. So we take that out, and here are our shims that we need to put in right away. So we get 1, 2, 3 thin shims. So we put those in and put that back on. And then we have a magnetic plate. And this is where I believe we put our paper. And then the plate, the different plates that we have for the designs go on the magnetic base here. Okay. So let's take this protective covering off the platen. I think this little piece here. Nope. Okay. And as I understand it, as you get to use and love on this, often, there's going to be some probably staining from the ink. That is normal. So don't get too excited, too upset about that. It happens. And then we get a manual that tells us a little bit of everything and has easy to follow instructions. And then I like the fact that it comes with a plate that we can get started with right away, and you get some ink. This is archival level ink, and this is made by Ranger specifically for the BetterPress. It's very juicy and it's very highly pigmented. So you want to be careful with your fingers and everything handling that. But they made all of the BetterPress ink pads to be this size. I think it's like 1.5 inches by 1 or something like that. It's a rectangular size, but they made this specifically this way so that you can easily ink up the different designs without having too much of a problem, right? Where you get it all over your hands and things like that. And then we have a little sample roll of their best, I think it's called Best Ever Craft Tape. And I have a larger roll of this tape. I love it. And I put it on my little elephant tape holder. And I use that a lot. Now, I tried to order some for the shop, but Spellbinders were sold out at the time. So hopefully I'll be able to restock the store and have it. But I also have a purple low tack tape in stock too that you can also use. Any low tack tape would be fine. So we're going to open that up so we can use it. Well, I'll just use my roll that I have. And then I'll save this one for later. And then we have the cards. All right, so this is how easy this is going to be. Okay, we're going to make a card with this beautiful floral pattern that you can see here. And it has two sentiments that say, to my favorite person. And so they're exactly the same sentiment, but if you noticed, one has the American, so to speak, way of spelling favorite with the O-R, and then one has the European/Canadian way of spelling favorite with the O-U-R. So that's the difference between these two sentiments, but they're essentially the same thing. So we're going to take out this beautiful floral pattern here. And I like the fact that they're large shapes or large patterns so that you can get the most out of your inking. Okay, so I'm going to use the American version. So I'm going to line them up on my magnetic plate here. And so the whole idea is that we use these guidelines to determine the placement on the card. So I'm going to go with an A2 card, which is 5.5 by 4.25 inches. And this way I'll be able to figure out exactly how I want it to look on the finished product. So since this is a nice size, it actually extends most of the card. I want to make this the focal point of the card and kind of center it a little bit, but kind of turn it a little bit off kilter. And as you can see, it clings on very nicely to the magnetic surface and it stays in place. And you can still shimmy it though and put it exactly where you want it. So I want it to go here. And then I want to offset the sentiment like at the bottom here a little bit. And it's great that they have these grid lines so that you can kind of make sure that your image is going to be straight. Okay. So now you taking the guesswork out, you know exactly how your card's going to be laid out and how it's going to look. And then I'm going to get my paper together. And they recommend that you put the paper on before you start inking up the plate because the ink is actually a fast drying ink. It's not like those highly pigmented inks that, you put on and it takes a long time for them to dry. Which is great because if you wanted to do any type of watercoloring or something afterwards, you don't have to worry about letting it dry. And I will say that this ink is not only fast drying and archival, it's also water resistant. So you can actually use watercolors. They recommend any type of water-based type of coloring mechanism. So alcohol markers, you can use them, but they're not recommended because there might be a little bit of bleeding because it interacts with the ink. But with watercolor paints, watercolor markers, any of those type of mediums are the best recommended ones to color if you choose. The design looks so nice apparently by itself that you might not even want to add color. Now, a word about this paper. Oh my goodness, it's so soft. That cotton is really like, popping out, so to speak. I don't know if you can see the texture through the camera, but it's so soft. And I know it's going to really absorb that ink and make it look really pretty. So we have a little bit of I believe this is called Pebble cardstock, which is a little bit of a grayish color, which I really like. It's like that classic gray. You have some sheets of the bisque cardstock, which is like that off-white. If anybody here remembers kitchens, everything was bisque at one point, tile, refrigerator, everything. I remember those days. And then you have your white, and this one's called porcelain. And as such, it is a nice bright white. And when you see them all together, you can kind of tell the difference there with the different shades. We do carry some of the card bases in the porcelain and pebble right now in the shop. We'll probably pick up some of the bisque a little later as well. They do come in larger sizes. I believe they come in A2, and then I think there's an A7 size. I'm not sure. But we have right now the A2 sizes in the shop too, if you wanted to buy some more paper. Okay, I am a fan of the pebble and the porcelain. I think I'm going to start with the pebble and see how that goes. Incidentally, the BetterPress inks, this one's called BetterPress Black, which is your basic black. They do have other colors as well, and we do have those in the shop, and they come in 4-packs. I'll show them to you at the end so that you can kind of get a sense of what other stuff you can get if you start to get, you know, buzzed by the BetterPress bug, which I think I'm going to be in a minute. So now when we have our plate that goes on top, you see that the same grid lines are there that exist for the base. So you have your A2 markings and your A7 markings, which is awesome because then you'll have a sense of, you know, where the paper is going to go in relationship to where the design is going to be as well. So you don't have any opportunities for there to be errors here. So what we're going to do is flip it over and we're going to tape down our paper. Now, since this is not a full background die, or plate rather, and it doesn't cover the entire page, I can just put tape on the edges and then we'll be fine. So let me do that. And you don't need a lot. And as you may know, with this low tack tape, you can use it over and over again. So you won't have to worry about that. So let me line it up properly. Shout out to Tim Holtz for this. I love my glass, what do you call this, mat. And I don't know if you've noticed the little lefty word here. I am a lefty. And, you know, for the 15% of us in the population, it's awesome that Tim actually always looks out for the lefty. There's like lefty scissors and all kinds of other stuff that he makes. So I really appreciate that. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. I tended to get excited and talk about other things. All right, so they recommend putting tape on all 4 sides, just to be sure. And I'll do that. And again, doesn't have to be a lot. Okay, so we have that and the paper set up. Now what we need to do is ink up the plate, okay? And a fun thing would be that if you did have different colors, you can ink up one color here and then ink up, here I go. You can ink up one color on another piece too. So we might do that for another project. I have a feeling I'm going to be making a lot of these because this is exciting, like just by itself. All right. So we take off the cap and already I'm inking myself up. Here we go. So I just took my Lawn Fawn chamois and there you go. It just comes off pretty easily. So no worries there. We do have the Lawn Fawn chamois in the store too, just in case. I love that thing. It's very tough and it doesn't like rip up or shred. All right, so what we're supposed to do is just kind of kiss and swish. You don't want to smear it. You want to kind of pat it along the way. And this is designed where it has a well in the bottom to put your index finger so you can get a little bit more of the pressure here. And I'm a messy stamper, it seems, with this ink. So the nice thing about this is because the plates are silver in color, you can see the ink, you know, you can see clearly what's going on. And you might have also noticed that there's a lot of detail, like a lot of line imagery in these designs, which is going to be so gorgeous when it comes out in print. And that's another reason why you don't want to smear it like this with the ink pad, because you don't want it to get caught in all these little crevices and have any type of blurring that occurs. Okay. So once I'm sure that I have everything where I want it, the ink wherever I want it, and that looks pretty well inked there. And it even has like a little shine, which is nice. I'm just so excited. All right, let me move everything out the way. All right, so now the next step is to put your magnetic plate on, your plate, your cover on top. And obviously this has the paper, and then we're going to press it through the die cut machine, which is going to add that pressure to effectively press the design into the cotton paper, all right? And I've also been told you can use watercolor paper as well, but Spellbinders went through a lot of trouble to make all of these things coordinated so that you get the best results that they recommend, all right? So now I just have to snap this into place, and as you heard, it just like really snapped into place. The really cool thing about this, if you're scared like me, this is not actually touching, the paper's not touching the plate yet. There is a gap. Oop, if you can see that, there is a gap there. So it's not touching yet. So don't get nervous about it inking everything up or messing things up yet. All right, so now here comes the fun part. We need to get our die cut machine. And this is its own basic sandwich that's going to run through the die cut machine. Okay, and here is my Platinum 6. Okay. And I'm a lefty, so this may look backwards to you, but you know, gotta do what we gotta do. All right, so I'm gonna run it through, and it goes through pretty smoothly. It doesn't feel like, I heard a little click, but it doesn't feel like it's, you know, pressed hard like you would with the dies. So we'll just see what happens. You don't have to run it through more than once. You only have to run it through once. And when you handle this, you want to be sure to handle it with the handles only and not handle it with the plates, because if you do, you might then press down mistakenly and kind of mess things up a little bit. All right. All right. Here's the moment I've been waiting for. I'm so excited. I can't even take it. All right. Pick it up. And oh my gosh. Look at it. Oh, wow. It is stunning. I hope that the camera reflects as much of the, I don't know, it just, the brilliance, I guess is the word I'm looking for, of the quality of this print. It really looks like a professional, like, stationery job. And because the ink is fast drying, I literally can just run my finger over it already. Now, you can't see what I feel, right? So to describe it, it's not embossed. It's not like raised. It's debossed, as they would say, like an imprint has been etched into it, I guess, but it's not that deep. Like you can feel the texture of the lines, but it's not so much that it's like grooved into the paper like that, if that makes sense. But you can definitely feel it. This is so pretty. I'm so impressed. I mean, they tell you that you're going to be impressed, but like until you actually do it, you know, you don't really know for sure, right? And I have to say, I am legitly impressed. And I lie to you not, I'm so serious that I literally just pulled this out the box the same day that, you know, right here in real time. I didn't do a practice run before, none of that. I didn't edit this video either. So if it was going to go down wrong, you would have seen it all. But literally, this was my first time using it. And I don't know why I was nervous, because this was so super easy to do. So I hope you see that. And, you know, maybe I'll do a part 2 where I color this in. But I mean, seriously, this is beautiful on its own. Like, it doesn't need anything. This could be matted and literally framed the way it is as well. Like, there could be some really fun gifts that you can come out of this. I also can see a stationery set happening as well, where you just have like the signature design and then maybe you change the sentiments, like, you know, with other sets and things like that. But oh my goodness, this is impressive. I have nothing else to say. I'm speechless. So now that I've caught the BetterPress bug, best believe I'm going to be opening up a couple more kits and doing some coloring, changing up the inks. I'm going to have some fun with this. But yeah, this is awesome. I don't know. I have nothing else to say. I'm very, very impressed. So let me show you some of the stuff that's in the shop and kind of give you an idea of other things that you can do. But before I do that, I also wanted to walk you through cleaning. They recommend the archival ink cleaner that Ranger makes. I have to order that for the store. I don't have it, and they didn't provide that in the kit. But if I actually took the Lawn Fawn Chamois, I'm actually getting a lot of the ink off. So at first glance, I can probably do a lot of that, you know, just for now, and get a good clean off of it. But this is so easy to use. I tell you what, I would probably just re-ink and just run maybe 5 or 6 through and then wipe it off, you know, at the end. I'm totally doing this. This is a great Christmas gift, my friends. A great gift to give to someone who's a crafter, because it's not that much effort or not a huge learning curve. It's beautiful, it's fun, and there are a ton of different other plates that you can get, and Spellbinders keeps coming out with more and more. Also, please look up, I'm going to be doing a video soon on the BetterPress Society, which is a new program that's launching in January. I'm very, very excited about it because it's only available for retailers, independent retailers like myself and Craftique, and you won't find it in the big box stores. You won't find it at scrapbook.com. You won't find it at Simon Says Stamp. It's only for the little guys like us. And basically it's a monthly program where you're going to get a different plate every month. And there might be some coordinating dies, coordinating stencils, all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned for that if you are really excited about this. Okay, so let me show you all the stuff that's available for purchase. And again, I'm going to get that archival ink cleaner so that we can clean the space. But, you know, if we don't, it's not going to be a big deal, because guess what? It's not going to, you know, ruin your projects or anything down the line. And, you know, it's going to show that it's been loved. All right, so let's check out what else is available in the shop. Okay, so true confession, while I went to grab the other items to show you what we have in the shop, I got so excited about this that I actually cut it down and mounted it on a piece of black cardstock background. And I'm just so, I just can't believe it. I really can't believe it. It's so gorgeous. So I don't know, this is going to be a thing for me. So anyway, let's talk about what else we have in the shop. I did say that we did have other colors, ink. So right now we have the 4-pack of, let's see, what is this one called? This one's called Regal Tones. And you have your Bark, your Mulberry, your Cosmic Sky, and then another pad of the BetterPress Black, because you can never have enough basic black, right? So that's this one. And you can see there's some really rich classic tones in here of color, which I like. And then this one is called the Nature Tones. And you have your Tawny Brown, which is kind of a little bit of a golder brown. You can kind of see it here, you know. Back in the day, I don't know if any of you remember this, but when we wore pantyhose, they weren't really all in different shades or colors. And there was Tawny Taupe a lot. So I remember that name. You have Saffron, Wildberry, which is a really nice vibrant pink, and a French Blue, which is that classic blue. So a nice range of hues here are available. So if you had both of these sets, then you'd really have a lot of fun with all the different coloring you can do. Think about how pretty this would be in like that saffron, like with the whole design that way, or the Wildberry. You wouldn't have to color anything. I mean, they don't even have to color this now, right? But we'll be doing some coloring later. So we have some of the inks there. I did mention we had papers. So right now we have the cotton panels in the Pebble, which is that gray that I just used here for my project. There's 25 sheets in this pack, and you get the A2 size panels, which I just talked about. And then we also have the double weight cotton card panels. This would be great if you want to do a lot of watercoloring or something else, and you really want to get that thicker level of paper so that, you know, it can kind of, the design will stand out even better, and it would just be a little bit more durable. I will say that this paper here was definitely strong. It did kind of warp a little bit when I pressed it, so this probably would stand up a little bit stronger than that. And when I taped it down to the background piece, I just, you know, put a lot of double-sided tape on it and pressed it down, you know, so that it would flatten out. But sometimes you can just use a book to do that as well. So you can see here, there's only 25 cards in this panel, but look how thick it is. It literally is double. There's 25 here and 25 here, and it's literally twice as thick. So this is for real. This is going to be some really thick paper and very good quality. So this one's available in porcelain right now, and these are both in the shop. And as I mentioned, as more people get the BetterPress bug or catch it, we will increase the amount of paper and different options we have available in the shop. I also have the refill bottle, and I don't want to open this because I like to store it and in the bubble tape or the bubble wrap, so it makes it easier to ship. But this is the ink bottle refill for the BetterPress Black. So we'll have other colors available too. If you're one of those folks who like to buy the stamp pad with the reinker together, we'll be able to carry those later in the shop. But right now we have the BetterPress Black refill because that's probably the color you'll be using the most. From what the folks at Spellbinders said in terms of how long these last, they have been doing a lot of printing and had not had to refill yet. I don't know exactly what a lot is. You would have to kind of be the judge of that based on how much you use it and how big the plates are that you use. But I would think that you can get a lot of mileage out of just one ink pad initially. And in terms of options for plates, right now in the shop, we have a couple really cool options. The one thing I like about these BetterPress plates is that they usually come with a sentiment as well. And they're usually generic-y so that you can use this for more than one occasion, right? So you're not just buying a plate for one use and you can't do much else with it. They're very versatile. This one is huge, as you can see right now. This extends beyond the the A2 size so that you can get in a slim line. I can see a 5x7 with this one. So there's a lot of options with this, even for like a paper project, just, you know, scrapbook layout, just all kinds of really cool things you can do with this. I can also see this in a, you know, like a book, if you wanted to make a book or a journal out of the cotton paper. That would be really nice. And this would be really fun watercoloring. And this is called, let's see, what is this called? I don't know. Oh, sunflower border, duh. Right here, sunflower border. And this is what it looks like when it's printed. Oh my goodness, look at that. You have your sunflowers and some other flowers and all kinds of really cool, intricate details here, which just make it so much prettier when it comes out and more impressive. And then the sentiment says just a note. So as you can see here, they have it within the landscapes orientation. You can definitely do something in portrait, and there's just so many other options that you have with something like this. So that is sunflower border. We also have an essential set. I'm all about essentials, right? And I'm loving my sentiments. This is called Always and Forever Sentiment Strips. So the cool thing about this is that it comes with the plate and a traditional cutting die. So what happens is that you see, first of all these sentiments here, like you're my everything, so proud of you, happy birthday, congratulations. You have pretty much the whole gamut here, right? But check this out. There's only 2 pieces here. So you have your plate, which has all of the sentiments that were listed on front. I think there's 16 of them. And then once you finish pressing these onto your cotton paper, you then add the die, which covers exactly over all of them. And you see how it's sized specifically to hug each of these sentiments without too much leftover space. And then you die cut, like old school die cutting, right? Like you're used to. You die cut, and you can see it's in the Spellbinders signature, like bronzy color. So you'll know it's a die as opposed to a press, okay? So then you die cut the paper, and then you're gonna get 16 individual sentiment strips with these sentiments on it. How cool is that? So you can just create this, you know, just do it one time, and you already have 16 instant sentiments. So this is definitely an essential set that you wanna have on hand if you're gonna be better pressing like me. And then the last one I wanted to show you is Sunflower Bouquet. Of course, we're into sunflower season now, so I wanted to make sure you had some, you know, some timely things. This is beautiful. You have your sunflowers and, you know, assorted flowers with it in the bouquet. And then you have the really pretty glass jar. So many options with this, right? You can watercolor some water in there. You can put a little touch of glass, or what is it? Is it Touch of Glass? I think it's Touch of Glass by Pink and Main. We have that in the store. It's a liquid lacquer that you just put on to projects, and it just gives it that shine. So you get that reflective shine that you would with glass normally. That would be really cool. And as in true form, it actually comes with 4 sentiments, which is great. Thanks so much. A gift for you, a little something to brighten your day, and hello there. So again, you have all these really nice sentiments, and then who says you can't mix and match them, right? So you have your plates, and then, oh, surprise, there are dies that hug each of these sentiments. So you can make it even really more personalized by adding those on top. You can pop it up with a little bit of foam tape, and then there you go. You have your card. So, I mean, there's so many options here. So you can mix and match, you know, the sentiments with the different plates and the different designs. And again, there are tons more that are available, and I'm going to start to stock them in the store as we go. But, you know, now's the time to jump on board the BetterPress train, or get the BetterPress bug, or whatever you want to say, because I mean, I caught it right away. Again, here's the starter kit. This is also available in the shop, and it comes with all the materials that we talked about earlier. So you're pretty much good to go. As long as you have a die cut machine and this, you're actually good to go to start making projects right away. You have everything you need here. And then you can actually explore and go to the next level with some of these and some watercolors that we do have in the shop as well. So I hope you enjoyed this mini segment on the BetterPress system. I hope you were as excited as I was about the reveal and see how easy it is to make. And maybe you're encouraged now to make your own BetterPress projects too. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Take care.